It's so hot in here. All right. Today I'm going to show you 3 easy open tunings that you can use on guitar right now. Let's do this. Hello everyone, I'm Pat and welcome back to another video. For those of you who don't know me, I make all sorts of videos about being a musician, tips and tricks, playthroughs, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that's something you're into and you want to show some support, consider subscribing. Little side note before we begin, you might hear all sorts of thuds and humming. The AC right now is at full blast and it's 90 degrees even though I have it on. I'm going to keep it on so that I don't die. And also every single band in Montreal right now is practicing. I apologize if you hear some of that stuff. That's the realities of making videos in your jam space. So open tuning on guitar is one of my favorite creative things to do. It really helps me get out of sort of a creative rut if standard tuning sort of gets old and you don't really know what to write, you're playing all the same chord shapes. Throwing an open tuning on there really helps you sort of get out of that, and it throws you out of your comfort zone, and it helps me find new ideas when I want to write a song or just jam for fun. So I wanted to make this video to show you my 3 favorite open tunings. You probably know one or all of them, but hopefully you learn something new and maybe you discover something fun and creative on guitar with this video. So without further ado, let's do the first one. For those of you who are interested, I'm playing a Fender Jaguar from about 2008. Made in Mexico. This is a Classic Player Special HH, I believe. Love this guitar. I've had it for 10 years, I guess. I bought it new, so yeah. My guitar then goes through my board. If ever you're interested in seeing a rundown of said board, it is right here, linked in here, little pop-up thing. And then that goes into my soon-to-be Ignator Renegade 212. My friend Chris owns this, but I'm about to buy it from him. Thank you, Chris, for that sweet deal. Love this amp. This amp has a direct out. It's going through my Focusrite 2i2 into Logic, and I'm also miking it, so you've got a mix of the two. So the first tuning I use is called DADGAD. So basically it stands for D-A-D-G-A-D. DADGAD, right, that's right. I'm gonna show you how to tune it basically. It's pretty simple. So D, you already have a D, and then G, you have that already, and then A, and then you turn your E into another D. When I wrote the second Bad Captain album that never ever came out because the band broke up, I mostly used this tuning. I would say like 8 of the 16 songs that I wrote are using this tuning, either with a capo for different keys, but a lot of the songs are actually in D major, and this is great to play in D major. And it's great if your band plays in drop D and you want to play some leads. It's really effortless to play leads on this. But I'm mostly a rhythm player, and this tuning works great for rhythm too. You can play drop D, but if you want, you can sort of strum those little strings too and not have to think about when it's going to sound. Chances are, especially if you're playing in D, it's going to sound great. There you have it, DADGAD. All right, the next one is CGCGCE. CGCGCE, I think so. Let's go through it together. So I'm back to standard tuning. And basically we're gonna go in drop C and then leave the last string standard. So we're gonna take our E string all the way down to C. Then take the A down to a G. The D string down to a C. We're going to leave the G string as is. We're going to take the B string up half a step to C. And then the E string as is. This tuning works a lot like the DADGAD tuning. You're basically in a drop tuning. You're not in drop D, but you're in drop C at this point. And you just have to be careful where you put your fingers. And if you experiment a little, you'll find some really interesting chords. A modification I like doing with this is taking your E string and tuning it all the way down to a C. So basically at this point your strings are C, G, C, G, C, C. Basically it's a whole lot of C's and G's, but what's cool about this is that you don't have to play with that major third of a C chord basically. The fact that you have C's and G's really gives you more freedom to play in minor or to do other fun stuff. And what's really cool is that because you have two C's and they're never going to be exactly the same tune, it gives you that sort of richness of having two C's, kind of like playing a 12 string. There we go. C, G, C, C, G, E, and C, G, C, C, G, C, G, C, E, C, C. C, G, C, C, G, C, C. The last open tuning I want to show you is a modification of the very well-known open G tuning that Keith Richards used. Because I have 6 strings on my guitar and I don't want to take one off, what we're going to do with the E string is tune it down to a D. So it's going to be D, G, B, D, G, D. Let me check. D, G, D, G, B, D. Is that what I said? G, G, D, G, B, D. Let me show you. From standard tuning, first string down to a D. Then second string from A down to G. The third, fourth, and fifth strings, or if you like to start from the top, basically the second, third, and fourth strings are they're going to stay the same. You've got D, G, and B. And then you're going to take your last string and you're going to tune it down to a D. We've got this. But yeah, this is a really fun tuning if you want to play some old school rock and roll and stuff like that. You still have to use on the first 2 strings the same chord shapes as if you were playing in staggered tuning. But then the whole game changes when you go to the other strings. So if you use those 2 techniques and spend some time discovering this open tuning, you can really have some fun. Remember, you can use any of these tunings with a capo if you want. Same thing applies to my open D and open C tunings. Don't be afraid to use a capo, put that anywhere you want, and really start experimenting with that. Here's a little bonus idea for you. If you own a baritone guitar, you can apply all these tunings to a baritone guitar. It's really amazing. It's not the same strings, so it's not going to be the exact same names, but I'll put the names in the description below. Standard baritone tuning, and then the 3 tunings I applied just with the baritone strings. By the way, if you've never owned, played, or picked a baritone guitar up, go to your local music store and just pick one up to try it out. You'll see it's really, really fun. I love playing baritone guitar. It's really different. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do, and one of those things is apply all these tunings I showed you to baritone guitar. But that is all for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like on your way out. It really makes a huge difference for such a small creator as myself. Otherwise, my Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, podcast links, that stuff is all down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I broke my lapel mic. I hate it so much. I'm not gonna say who makes it. I'm not gonna say, yeah, don't make this anymore. And this, no. By the way, you can watch my Shit Kit video to see this and a lot more accessories I love to hate.